Greetings, one and all, to some more Let's Play Bionicle Heroes. Last time we completed the second level of Zaktan's Jungle. And now, we are going to place this Zamosphere in here and make our way to the Forgotten Shrine. Oh, look, it's Sidorak, the king of the Bizorak, Sidorak. He doesn't look too happy to know that we just killed his queen. Sidorak does not look happy. I forgot he had one sword arm. Which is kind of weird because in the film, the sword is actually attached to his arm like a wrist blade. Anyway, Forgotten Shrine. Starting off with Kongu, and oh, look at this. Right off the bat, I'm going to make a quick detour and, oh, hello. Ah, damn it, we need friggin' Huki. Wherever he might be. Huki, where are you? Hukadook, where are you? There you are. Let me grab you. And, oh, hi. And now we will make a quick detour back. And this is why I like playing as Jollar and Kongu the most, is because of how fast they are. Like, look at this. I can just speed through entire stages with those two. And, ooh. Sneaky little silver castle. I think Kongu is the fastest of the six, with Nuparu and Huki being the slowest. Makes sense since, well, Toe of Stone, Toe of Earth. Pretty much, when it comes to Bionicle, the Toas tend to follow the trope of the five-man band. For those who don't know, the trope called the five-man band, or in this case, six-man band. I feel like there's a way of getting over there, but I don't recall how. Oh, well, let's just switch to Huki, who I don't really use as often. And yoink. Making our way downstairs. Damn it. Well, so much for that. Well, there goes our way up. Point of no return from here on out. So if you missed that silver canister, well, you're gonna have to start the stage over again. And that's one of the things that I hate about early Lego games, is that if you miss one canister, or mini-kit, whatever they're called, like, I've always called them, speaking of the mini-kits, now that I brought mention to it, I always refer to the mini-kits as canisters, because that's what they always look like. They look like little canisters, like Umbrella's secret project, like whatever, like the next, like the Z virus, the successor to the G virus, or hello, what? There has to be something way up. Ah, shit. That was itchy. Not the best time to have an itchy nose. But how do I get up there? Alright. Enemies are attacking me from behind. But anyway, so yeah. It's like... And that's one thing I'm more grateful about, like... This is kind of the reason why I didn't have much of an issue with LEGO Jurassic World, is because you were able to save and exit at any point. Like, if you got all the mini-kits, like, if you got all the canisters, there you go, you can just save and exit. With early LEGO games like this, you have to complete the whole stage in order to ensure that the canisters that you got counted, and, oh, hello, hero mode. My memory is a turd. enemies. Is this what I think it? Oh. There's the little mini kit. Hello there, little buddy. And of course we got Holly. Am I the only one who thinks like modern Lego games are like easier? Honestly, if I have to say which are the best Lego games, honestly, from Lego Jurassic World and onwards, mostly because of how advanced they are. It's like it's one of those instances where when you play the newer games and then you go back to the older ones, you're like, what the shit? Because it's like you're so used to like the newer ones that going back is like, what even? Anyway, first golden canister. Let's use Kung Fu for a bit because he is hella fast. But of course, his range with his weapon is complete turd. Anyway, so yeah, we only have this stage, the fight against Zaktan in the next part, and then we have Radak's Desert left. Jerk! A cheap shot. Now we become Spooderman. But, luckily, we're feeling swell. Yoink! This is one of the reasons why I like playing as Luparu. His weapon just does so much damage. Like, the blast radius is just amazing. Burn down the grass. And go in, grab our silver canister, enter hero mode, and grab our golden canister. The twofer. Wait a minute. Even though money is at this point in the game pointless since we already have our characters fully upgraded. FBI, open up! Or, never mind. Sidorak, you are under arrest for illegal smuggling of bootleg protodermis. I think I referenced them. There's a gold. Actually, what am I doing? I am in hero mode. This is practically God mode. Which is kind of funny because I don't really know which Lego game it was that introduced red bricks. Because red bricks were essentially built-in cheats. And because red bricks were essentially built-in cheats, it made 100%ing them a lot easier. Doubly so with the score multiplier, because you can just reach like over millions of freaking studs, like 1 million studs. You can practically purchase like having like the ×2 multiplier, the ×4 multiplier. ×6, ×8, and ×10 all turned on. You effectively are able to get millions of friggin' studs within a second. But, of course, there's a drawback to that, in which, of course, said red bricks cost a butt ton. There's a gold canister there, but how do I get that? Oh. I see a silver canister right there, and of course, there's an area that requires Vison. Like, I always liked it when, like, games had, like, built-in cheats. because you can essentially breeze through it. Like, Mega Man X4, for example, has 2 cheat codes. Of course, the 2 cheat codes are Ultimate Armor X and Black Armor 0. And in X4 they were purely cosmetic, but in X5 and onwards, like, Black Armor 0 was like, holy shit, was Black Armor 0 was just absolutely amazing. First of all, he looked cool. The friggin' black with the purple Z-Saber just works for Zero. No, you're not dead. Say no to my boomstick. I think you can still shoot them when they're down in order to decrease the amount of health they have. Is there? That's it, I'm going Doom Guy mode. Or as the modern Dooms call it, the Doom Slayer. Let's just make our way here. Hello, anybody? Yeah, anybody? No, really? Nobody? You know, even though the video quality is like a turd, but that's also because A, I'm recording this directly from the TV, so that's one reason, but the other reason is because I do not have all the fancy equipment that bigger tubers have. Also, within last week, I made a DTube account, which I've decided that that's where my animations are going to go, because YouTube has recently been very shoddy as of late. Come on. I am ignoring you. Give me all this. And Insta-Hero mode. And now we burn all the Visceracts to a crisp. I'm not sure if this is just me, but I've noticed that, like, for bosses like, say, Sidorak, actually, I think that's where I went. Oh, shit. Like, I keep forgetting that the mini-map is a thing. Oh! Little serpent thing. He jumped up there and then is like, huh? Let's grab all of this, even though money is at this point worthless, which I must emphasize because I can. Even though it doesn't necessarily mean that I should, I still can. This is why I adore Onua's weapon. Justice reigns from above. Yes, that was an Overwatch reference, which is pretty ironic considering I do not play Overwatch. I think the closest game I ever played to Overwatch was Paladins, but sadly the game no longer works on my computer, which is a real shame, because Paladins is actually a pretty good game, actually. I used to play as... shit, what's his name? I used to play as the dragon character, but I forget his name. He's the dragon character that was able to fly and he had a rocket launcher. And I used to play as him, like, most of the time. Oh, I see where this is going. Nope. I've seen, no, not seen aliens, but I know what I played Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon to know what the hell is going on here. And I don't have a flamethrower, but I do have hero mode, which is the next best thing. By the way, if you haven't noticed, the little Viscerac eggs here are Axon's head, like, combined. In the meantime, there's Sidorak. Dumbass. burn all this to the ground first. Because if we don't... Wait, do the enemies respawn? Huh. Go, buddy. No! Yeah, like, if I need to use an explosive character for this game, I'm playing as Bionicle. Because his attacks do so much damage. And now, here's where the real fight begins. Sidorak here is going to spawn butt-ton of little spooters, the Vizorak, which again, despite how the Vizoraks are spiders, basically, still shows that LEGO still does not know spider anatomy. Not even with Skull Scorpion. Well, with Skull Scorpion in G2, they came pretty close. They got 6 legs, which, first of all, scorpions have 8 legs because they're arachnids. Yeah, scorpions are not insects, they're arachnids, just like spooters. Which means that one Spider-Man villain it makes sense why that one Spider-Man villain would, of course, be, well, that of a scorpion. Come on. Show me the money. And this is where I wished this stud magnet was a thing in this game. Then again, I could kind of compare LEGO games to, like, say, Monster Hunter in a way, where it's like, speaking of Monster Hunter, when it comes to something like Monster Hunter, I would say start as late as you can. Because when you play the newer Monster Hunter games and go back to the old ones, it makes you appreciate the newer ones more. Whoa! Oh crap. But again, this is just phase 1 of the fight, but even though I've already said this already, but I'll say it again. Even though, like, this is going to be my last ever involvement with anything Bionicle related, unless, you know, I'm drunk off my ass and have nothing better to do, and decide to say, you know what, I'm going to replay this in much higher quality, like 10 years from now, which I highly doubt, considering in this point in time, I want nothing to do with the Bionicle fandom. And could you... Oh, that is it. That is it. Where are you? Where are you? Damn scooters are everywhere. Anyway, so yeah, despite how this is going to be my last ever involvement with the Bionicle fandom. Oh, there we go. This is the start of phase 2. Even though, again, I'm not going to give up on mocking, mainly because I like mocking too much. And hopefully, after I'm done with the LP of this game, I'll finally get started on that instructions video that I promised to make. Let's go pew 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 pew. And now he's going to send his minions after us. Damn! By the by, funny story. At one point, I was playing this game, and I was in Radak's desert at one point. And I was fighting Axon, and somehow I ended up entering hero mode in the second phase of the fight. Like, even though in the second phase it's virtually impossible for you to enter hero mode normally, somehow I encountered a glitch where I was able to enter hero mode and just completely annihilate Axon with relative ease. Whether or not I'll be able to achieve that in this LP depends on whether or not, well, things go smoothly. Oh. Nope. Well. Damn. Like that. Oh. Feels like a bird. Derp. And then Makuna cranked up the gravity dial. And like that, we have gotten all 5 silver canisters and 3 gold canisters. Oh. Anyway, we got Galak. And we've also gotten Sidorak. Forgotten Shrine completed. With a gold ranking. I actually forget. How much do we have? We have a lot, actually. Also because I don't really spend much. Get the shooting gallery. Because like once you purchase everything from like the shop, you're effectively set in stone. Not really much to go about. Yeah, with Sidorak's defeat, we'll check out the little bio. Where is he? There he is. Sidorak. Slow-mo running. Mighty leader of the Vizorak horde, Sidorak is a veteran of 1,000 conquests. Now he is determined to use his spider creature legions to overrun Metronui and defeat the Toa Hordika, who are actually mutated versions of the Toa Metru. Spoiler alert. With his hurting blade, I hope I'm saying that right, he can command the Vizorak without needing to speak. His Ratuka spinners compel anyone they strike to obey him completely, which probably explains how Vakama ended up turning to the dark side, actually, in the 3rd film. Now it makes sense. Set number 8756, year of release 2003, and Sidorak then gets the shit kicked out of him by his own wife. Literally, that actually happens. Like, his own wife ends up stabbing him in the back. But, of course, Sidorak has now been taken care of without the need of any Infinity Gauntlets, or Infinity Stones for that matter. But yeah, all that leaves is the last area of Zaktan's jungle. That last area being Zaktan's chamber. And so, that wraps up this part of Let's Play Bionicle Heroes. next time on Bionicle Heroes, we are going to take down Zaktan in the final stage of Zaktan's jungle. See you guys.